This is absolutely insane. And yeah, it is a real report from a real NBA insider. We're going to break down the prospect of the Golden State Warriors trying to add Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James this offseason. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we're going to talk about it here at Warriors Today. My name is Tyler Smith, and I want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel here at Warriors Today because we upload free Dubs content all the time. We're trying to hit our next milestone as well of 102,500 subscribers. Just need 47 more members of Dub Nation to go down below and hit that sub button for free Warriors content on their YouTube feed every single day. Okay, so the Warriors want both LeBron and Giannis. Yes, you heard that correctly. I had to do a couple double takes. I had to make sure I read all the quotes correctly. The Warriors want LeBron and Giannis, two names that they've been talking about for the better part of a couple of years now, to team up with Steph Curry in the latter years of his career to try to earn him a 5th championship ring. Jake Fischer, the Steinline, saying the following on it. Sources say that the Warriors naturally do plan to feature prominently in the trade mix for Milwaukee's Antetokounmpo if he truly becomes available via trade this offseason, while also exploring the prospect of teaming James with Steph Curry at least once LeBron becomes an unrestricted free agent on June 30th. Okay, I plan to hop on a Drake feature and buy a yacht this summer, but I don't know if any of that is going to go down. I would love to hop on a track with Drizzy, but I don't think he knows me too well. And I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks know the Golden State Warriors too well in their whole situation. I'm going to say this and say it clearly. Passing up on all the trades that you've passed up on and putting your faith into this two-timeline approach just to push it all down the line to try to trade for Giannis is elite levels of stupidity from this franchise. Like, who do they think they are? Seriously, what do they think they could offer to the Milwaukee Bucks to get Giannis? I'm telling you right now, it would go. I think you could offer every one of these assets that you see on your screen, and Milwaukee would still tell you, screw off. Jimmy Butler, that's a player who's coming off of an ACL tear at 37 years old. By the way, he'll be making more than $54.1 million next season. Jonathan Kuminga will be making more than 22.5, but, I mean, he just got hurt, so who knows about that. Moses Moody, again, doesn't really move the needle. Buddy Hield, he wouldn't play on 28 franchises in this league. And then you have all your first-round picks available, but you can offer probably something along the lines of like 3 picks, unprotected, 2 swaps. I don't even know if Giannis, that would get done. I have no clue if the Milwaukee Bucks would even entertain that. My assumption would be hell no. Like, even after Steph is done, like, they got to wait all the way down the line. Like, there's some priority picks. Teams have some priority picks that the Milwaukee Bucks could use in the next 1 to 2 seasons if they were to trade Giannis this offseason. I don't think they want to wait all the way down the line until the picks are valuable in 28, 29. Like, 2 of them that they have from Golden State will probably be in the mid-teens to the early 20s. So they're going to be doing really nothing for the Milwaukee Bucks in that scenario. They want nothing to do with you. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know where Joe Lacob has this thought in his mind where he thinks that his assets are good enough to go get Giannis, but they're not. And I'm here to say that right now. But what do you guys think? Maybe you think I'm wrong, and I'm not giving enough credit to these Warriors assets. What's the percentage chance that the Warriors trade for Giannis? Comment down below a number between 1 and 100%. 1 being basically 0% chance, and 100% being I'm stupid. They are going to trade for Giannis. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. This is also becoming it's becoming a tired argument. It's almost becoming as tired as Giannis, but Giannis, we know, has been a thought for the past 3-4 years, ever since there's been a rumbling of Giannis potentially wanting out of Milwaukee. But now over the past 2 seasons, there's been a LeBron and Steph team-up argument ever since they teamed up in Paris in the Olympics and won gold. There's been the prospect of LeBron joining the Golden State Warriors here. Now, in terms of adding LeBron to Golden State, how would that go down? Well, it's a full screen, by the way. And it is weird because how would you do it? They said if he entered free agency, how are the Warriors going to figure out the money or free up the money to go out there and sign LeBron? I don't think he's signing for the vet minimum, so they're going to have to figure something out. But as far as the pursuit of LeBron James goes, this is not the first time. Golden State did hit up the Lakers about a trade in 2024 around the deadline. But Draymond Green was the one who made that push to ownership. It wasn't like they just came up with this plan out of nowhere, adding LeBron midseason. So they just ended up calling him up, but the Lakers really just said, no, we're not really too interested. And then Jeannie Buss even gave the Warriors an opportunity to let James and Rich Paul, his agent, speak for themselves, and they said that their desire is to remain in LA at this point. So who knows? They also, though, have declined to kind of talk extension with LeBron. So this is, at least the hitting free agency part, is something that is fairly possible. Is it possible that he goes to Golden State? I mean, unless he plays for the mid-level exception, I don't think so. And that's probably what, like, is LeBron playing for the mid-level? No. So if Golden State thinks they can bring LeBron in, it's not going to be on a $40 million contract. They literally don't have the money to go out there and offer something like that. So I don't know where they have this thought. Jake Fischer kind of he brought up the idea and then kind of just rained on it a little bit at the end. He said Golden State does not expect to have a shot at either one of these two Monstars names until the offseason at the earliest, ... if even then. So why are we even reporting this stuff if it's just fairy tale nonsense? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Coming up next, we're going to talk about some Jimmy Butler trade updates because there is a possibility that he is dealt from the Golden State Warriors if they really, really want to make an upgrade. That salary is something that could be paramount in trying to add value and talented basketball players to this roster because clearly they don't have enough at this point. We'll talk about it in a second. First, though, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor on today's show, as this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app in the game. And with the big game almost here, there's no better time to get in on the football action right before the season ends than with Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's the best daily fantasy sports app in the game because they offer the best features. They're aesthetically pleasing, and it's so quick and easy to create a lineup. It takes less than 60 seconds to win up to 2,000 times your money with one single Prize Picks lineup. They got football, they got basketball, they got college sports. You can mix and match them all on Prize Picks, and you can even copy other players' picks with their new community feed tab. Whether it's a celebrity, a creator like us, or even your friends, you can copy their picks into your own lineups and win real money in real time. My lineup for this weekend is as follows. I got Drake May of the New England Patriots to have more than 222.5 passing yards. I got Matthew Stafford to throw a Stevie Wonder, more than half an interception. And I got Rashid Shaheed, less than 22.5 receiving yards. The Rams, they limit the big plays. You can tell my picks or fade them. Just do it at Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, here's the report on Jimmy Butler potentially being dealt from Golden State. Also from Fisher in that same article that he dropped about LeBron and Giannis. He said, for now, though, I mostly hear how strongly Golden State is backing Butler, expressing confidence that he'll come back from his ACL injury and help them contend next season. Sources say that the Warriors, for example, have not shown any interest in trying to trade Butler for Dallas's Anthony Davis. I'm told, furthermore, that they don't plan to entertain any move involving Butler unless a truly top-tier target tries to push their way toward teaming up with Curry. So basically just LeBron or Giannis. Who else is demanding out in the next calendar year? I mean, I know that stuff changes at the drop of a hat, but Coop, I don't know anybody who's going to be asking out in the next 12 months. Like, the NBA is a locked up league now. If you're in your spot, you're on a contract, like you're staying there for a while. So it's not like these superstars where you just grow on trees and they're begging to go to Golden State when Steph's 37 years old. It's just not happening. Like, let's face it, guys, they're not doing anything of value to try to contend this season. We already heard before Jimmy Butler got hurt that Steve Kerr said, yeah, we can't contend with OKC. We can't contend with San Antonio. So now, with Jimmy Butler out, they may not just decide to do anything. They may just punt the season, keep all their first-round picks and assets, and try to do whatever nonsense fairy tale move for Giannis that they can conjure up in the offseason. Who knows? Look, one thing is clear. The final years of Wardell, Steph, and Curry have been wasted by the Golden State Warriors. And it's unfortunate. It's disrespectful for a top 10 player of all time to be dealing with this level of dysfunction and malpractice in the organization. But that's the reality of the situation. And we have one man to blame for it. Joe Lacob, whose pride and ego and stubbornness have put this team in the position that they are in right now, not contending and wasting a basketball pioneer, a legend of the game's twilight of his career. It's unacceptable. Let's talk about a couple of the missteps that Joey Lacob has had his hand in. First of all, before they take all these scrubs, they could have traded the picks. They could have gotten something. I mean, man, if you trade a 2020 and 2022 first-round picks, by the way, this was number 2. If they did that in that summer after the year where Steph missed, like, they could have gotten something of value. But no, we're going to keep it. We're going to try to do 2 timelines, Coop. We're going to try to get these guys on the same level of play as multiple-time NBA champions, because that historically works all the time, right? Adding rookies in, multiple rookies into a rotation that includes Hall of Fame players, veterans at the top. But no, shout out to Joe Lacob for that philosophy there. He drafts James Wiseman number 2. I can't burn him too bad on that selection because a lot of people thought James Wiseman would be really good. But what you can do is look to his college career and the dysfunction that was there. There wasn't a lot of professional development with Penny Hardaway over at Memphis for James Wiseman, and clearly he came into the league with that on his rap sheet, as well as injury concerns that ended up really kind of plaguing his entire career. Jonathan Kuminga, we have concrete evidence that the Warriors' brain trust outside of Joe Lacob wanted to take Franz Wagner, and look how much better that would have turned out if the Warriors did that. They take Jonathan Kuminga instead. He's not fit on the roster at all. He's thought himself to be way better of a basketball player than he is, and now he just got hurt, and the Warriors might not be able to trade him once again. We'll talk about the trades they passed up on in a second. Moses Moody. I'm not going to sit here and act like Moses Moody is the biggest scrub of them all. He's the best player out of these 4, which is it's really sad. But the Warriors did pass up on Alperen Sengun and Trey Murphy, who went picks right after. So I'm going to hold Joe Lacob to that one as well. I think there was some talk in the building about taking Trey Murphy over Moses Moody, but that was Lacob's guy. And then Patrick Baldwin's one of the worst basketball players that's ever walked the earth. I'm not going to lie. Like, I watched him in college at Milwaukee. He was awful. Like truly a special breed of ass. And it was only because his dad coached the team. And then he comes to the Warriors. And I'm not going to sit here and act like 28th overall pick in the draft is like some crazy miss, but look at a couple of the names that were drafted very, very shortly after. Andrew Nembhard, Max Christie. Like, there was one right before the end of the first round that slipped my mind right now, but it was a much better player than Patrick Baldwin is. Draft misses have contributed heavily to where the Warriors are at right now. What about the trades they passed up on? The all-star level players that Golden State has elected, just screw it. Nah, I don't want these guys. Why would I want Pascal Siakam or Alex Caruso, 2 guys who played key roles in the NBA Finals last year? And I say trades passed up on because of not wanting to include the young talent on this roster. They suck. They're not talented at all. Pascal Siakam could have been a Golden State Warrior. And the reason they didn't trade for him is because he wouldn't commit to an extension. He said the same thing to Indiana and then signed one right away. He would have been fine playing next to Steph. He would have loved to sign an extension once he got to know what it's like playing next to 30. Alex Caruso for Jonathan Kuminga. Everybody and their mother would do that trade now. They would have done that trade for the last calendar year. Joe Lacob passed up on it. Lauri Markkanen. I don't know how much. Actually, no, I do know. The only player that they said they would include in the Lauri Markkanen trade was Moses Moody. Do you understand how dumb you have to be to, like, even offer that to an NBA franchise? They're never going to do business with you again because they think you're unserious. That's what this franchise is, unserious. Paul George, that just was a timing thing. I'm not going to sit here and act like Paul George would have been a superstar, but who knows? Maybe he wouldn't have gotten hurt like he did in Philadelphia that first year. They were trying to get Paul George. Paul George was willing to be a Warrior, but their reluctance and just tiptoeing around making that deal just ended up saying the Clippers were tired of doing business with the Warriors, so they just accepted that option, and Paul George was continuing to be a Philadelphia 76ers there. Brandon Ingram. They try. I don't know how concrete this one is, but he was out there, and there were rumors about Golden State potentially being willing to make a trade for Ingram, but not including Jonathan Kuminga. So they passed up on all these names. They drafted all those bums, and that's why we're in the spot that we're in right now, because they couldn't afford a Jimmy Butler injury. There's no talent elsewhere on the roster. Could Steph win another ring in Golden State? Am I too doom and gloom in this video? Am I? I'm serious. Let me know in the comment section. Can Steph win another ring in Golden State if things go right? And let me know what you think would have to go right for that to be the case. Y for yes or N for no. Comment down below, as that will do it for today's show. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV, for the latest and greatest on your Dubs all season long. We'll see you guys next video. And as always, let's go Dubs.